The Last Kingdom and Teen Wolf is my favorite TV show. Like, they're tied for first place. And I have no problem telling you that Pretty Little Liars is my comfort show. But when it comes to movies, I'm like I draw a blank. And I was sitting eating food at lunch. It wasn't dinner, so lunch today. And for some reason, I was thinking on this. And I came to a conclusion. So the reason that it is so hard for me to tell people like what my comfort movie is because my favorite genre in movies is thriller, right? And so 90% of the movies that I watch are thriller based, right? And so how can you find comfort from that? You know what I mean? Like, what is comforting about somebody breaking into your home and stalking you within the confines of your own house and you not knowing where they are, what's going on, and them hiding in your basement and then kidnapping your daughter? Like, that was very specific. But what is comforting about that? I mean, it's comforting to the low-key undercover and closeted kidnappers who like get off on that sort of movie or whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. But to a regular person, that's not comforting. So it's so difficult for me to tell what my comfort movie is because those are pretty much the only movies that I watch. Not the only, but the majority. And then like when I was younger, I had a very eclectic collection of movies that I was obsessed with. I told you guys in my last ramble that I was obsessed with Aragon, the movie, because dragons are, I bow to them. They are, you know, everyone says like cats are super majestic and like they're meant to be rulers, and like they are meant to like, they're so regal and like they lord over all the other animals and all this extra stuff. You know, people say cats are that. I feel like dragons are that. Like, they are my spirit animals. I'm obsessed. You can't tell me that dragons aren't the bomb.com. You just can't. But anyway, I was obsessed with Aragon, which my mom used to call Aragon. And let me put this closer so that it can be an up close ramble whisper. And so my mom called it Aragon, and that was only because her co-workers used to call it that, and it just kind of stuck with her, and she used to come home and be like, "You're watching Aragon again." And I'm like, "Mom, it's Aragon," which she knew, but she would like tease me because I would get like, not mad, but I would be like acted like, "Oh my god, put some respect on Aragon and say the name right," you know? So I used to be obsessed with that movie. I used to be obsessed with School of Rock. The School of Rock. Yeah, like I watched it the other day for the first time in a long time, and I shocked myself because I still remembered every single song. And I don't know, it blew my mind because I hadn't watched it in years, but every time that first string would play, I'd be like, "There's no way you can't stop the School of Rock." There's other songs in that, but I knew them all. And then, so there's like a memory attached with my mom to all of these movies because I was younger and she had to witness me watch them over and over all you know what, you're tacky and I hate you. So that was like an insider. And then also from the School of Rock, Miranda Cosgrove's character wanted to be a singer, and so when she was auditioning, she couldn't sing in that movie, but when she was auditioning, the song that she sung was Memories All Alone in the Moonlight, not a set. And then he cut her off and he was like, okay, because she was singing it really awful. And so whenever me and my mom start reminiscing together, and I do this even now, like, you remember that time, or like, you know, just going down memory lane after we're done and we're sitting in that little lull, that little period of silence where we're like stuck in our heads and, you know, stuck in the memory. I always burst out and go, memories all alone in the moonlight. So anyway, I was obsessed with Eric On and School of Rock. I was obsessed with the Goofy movies and their stringy pizza that was literal perfection. I was obsessed with She's the Man. I was obsessed with finger flutters. I'm trying to think of all the movies, but just there were a lot of things that I just binged watched. Let me pull out my phone and see if I can recall some of these movies. Like in that time frame. So I'm just gonna Google She's the Man and then see like what related stuff pops up. I really have to sneeze, y'all. Excusez-moi, but I really have to sneeze. Okay, so I just googled movies that are related to School of Rock or She's the Man, and I was obsessed with John Tucker Must Die, which, let me show y'all, I don't know, Sophia Bush is in that and I just adore her to bits, always have, but I think my love for her truly started in One Tree Hill. I'm trying to, so they won't let me enlarge it, but like John Tucker Must Die. And then I was definitely obsessed with all the Bring It On movies, all of them. Not the last couple they made. I'll say the last one that I adored was probably the one they made in 2006, and it was with like Peyton Panettiere or some girl. Hold on. Let's see. All or Bring It On. All or Nothing. Okay, so it was with Hayden Panettiere. It's Bring It On, All or Nothing. I think that was the last one that I liked, maybe, but I liked all the ones before that. How many Bring It Ons are there? I'm probably like all the ones before that, and there was literally only one before that, but you know what I'm saying? Anyway, and then I used to really enjoy, I'm just scrolling and seeing, there are movies that I watched, but I didn't like them like that. Freaky Friday, how could I forget? I was obsessed with Freaky Friday. I used to watch it all the time. And Chadwick, what's his name? Not Chadwick, that's my Black Panther, that's my king. Wakanda forever. But oh my god, when Chadwick passed away, quick little interlude, there are only a handful of celebrities I've ever cried for when I learned of their passing, and it was like 3 a.m. when my aunt texted me the article, you know, saying that he passed away, and I was like, no, I don't believe this one little bit. And so me being me, the first thing I do was on TMZ, but there was a link to his Instagram, and they had posted a picture of him and said that it was official, he had passed. And I remember just sitting in the middle of my bedroom, and I was sitting there cross-legged on the floor and like blankly staring at the wall because I was processing. And then the next thing I knew, I was bawling. What is happening with my mic? It's like falling over. One moment. Okay, I'm back. My mic is having a hard time tonight. It like kept leaning and falling over, and I didn't know what was going on, but one of the screws on the little arm was loose and I had to tighten it. And now I have forgotten what I was talking about. Maybe looking at my phone will remind me. Oh, so Freaky Friday. And I was probably talking about Michael. Oh, I was talking about Chadwick Boseman, and I just remember sitting there staring at the wall blankly, and then all of a sudden I was bawling, and I cried for like 3 hours, and I didn't get any sleep that night because when she texted me it was like 2 or 3 a.m. Anywho, I know super morbid, right? But I just, getting their names mixed up made me think of that. The other star I cried for was Michael Jackson and Paul Walker, because me and my mom were huge Fast and Furious fans when that franchise was still running. The last couple movies, they weren't good because he wasn't in it. Like in the last movie that he was in, you know, at the end they had to get his brother and they like CGI'd Paul's face onto his brother. But you know, for some of it, looking at my mic like don't start, but for some of it, like he was actually in before he got into that awful car wreck. And every time he showed up on film, I would start tearing up, but I wouldn't actually cry because I was like so sad. And then the end scene where he turns around slowly, even though we know it's his brother, but it's Paul's face CGI'd on it or whatever, and that song is playing. It's been a long day without you, my friend, but I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. That song starts playing, and I was just a wreck. Like they had to carry me out the theater because I was like, it was awful. So those are the 3 stars that I have, like that completely devastated me when they passed away. Michael Jackson, Chadwick Boseman, and Paul Walker. So I got on that because I was talking about Freaky Friday, and what's the guy's name? It's Chad something. Chad Michael Murray. He was like the heartthrob in the early 2000s. I swear to God, every movie you saw that came out in the early 2000s, the love interest was Chad Michael Murray. And listen, nobody was complaining because honey is fine, okay? Man's is fine. And I was about to say he could choke me anytime he wants to, but I heard that he cheated on Sophia Bush with Paris Hilton, and so cheating isn't, Lucas wasn't loyal, Chad isn't loyal, like come on, what's happening? But he was in Freaky Friday and I thoroughly enjoyed it, not just because of him, but there's this one scene where he's like singing to Lindsay's character or the mom. He's like outside and he's singing the give me a sign, hit me baby, and then Lindsay comes and like knocks him over. It's like hit me baby, ooh, because he gets knocked over. That scene lives rent free in my head. It's so freaking funny. But I was obsessed with a Freaky Friday, and every time I see that movie I want Chinese, every time without fail. And then yeah, there were a few others, but it would take me too long. I think I want to do like a TV, like animated series that I was obsessed with, because I did the TV show Ramble like what, 5-6 months ago, and I used to and still do enjoy a lot of cartoons / animated series, and so I think I want to like do a video ranking them. So I would literally watch it, sit there for 2 minutes while the tape rewound, and then watch it again, and then rewind, and then watch it again. I don't know, and I do that now, but with TV shows, more so than movies. So I will literally watch The Last Kingdom, season 1 through 5, and then be like, oh, that was so freaking good. Let's do it again, and play it again in the same day, like start the series, like, I don't know what's wrong with me. But 23 minutes in, and I'm just now getting to the point of that is why I don't have comfort movies right now, because the majority of the things I watch are either really old films, like me and my mom watched, I think it's called Domestic Disturbance. Let me pull it up, you know what I'm saying, so I can tell you. And it has Vince Vaughn in it, which I don't think, besides that movie, I've ever seen him in something where he played a serious role, because he's always in really goofy movies, because he's like a really funny guy. Is it called Domestic Disturbance? Or, okay, yeah. It's a 2001 film called Domestic Disturbance, and it stars John Travolta, who I love. I love John Travolta. Vince Vaughn, and some other people. But I really watched it for those two. And it's a thriller. And so it's basically, I could read you the synopsis, but I'm gonna tell you my own words. So basically, there's this family. The mom and the dad got divorced a long time ago, and they had a son before they divorced, obviously. And the mom remarries, and the guy that she remarries turns out to be a little off. There's something a little off with them. And so the kid, off the bat, because he gets bad vibes, but also because it's his mom and he doesn't want to see his mom move on, the kid, the son, doesn't like him. He hates him. And he ends up witnessing his now stepdad do something. His stepdad, who is Vince Vaughn, commit a crime. And he tells his parents and the police, but nobody believes him. And so then this kid's dad, who is John Travolta, at first he doesn't believe him, but then he's like, my son has never lied to me. So he starts doing research into Vince Vaughn's character, and like pulling up stuff from his past and things like that, and he finds this article that can help him and can prove something about the stepdad, aka Vince Vaughn. That's all I can say, because I don't want to I don't want to give it away in case you've never seen it, but it's actually really good. It's actually really, really good. It's an older film, but I love it. And I had watched it when I was younger, but I had completely forgotten it. And my mom's like, do you remember watching this? And I was like, no. She's like, let's watch it. And I'm glad we did, because now I have another thriller in my collection that I can pull up whenever I'm in the mood, that I know is a good movie. That's a good thriller. So, what was I saying? not showing us, but telling us like she got this kit and she's got the drill for it and blah blah. And I was like a light bulb went off, and I was like, that's why my nails were always so bumpy. But I still have that kit. And another thing, I think that my kit didn't work properly aside from the missing drill, because it's an Azor kit or something like that. And my Harry Potter thing, I showed you the brush and the name on the brush, but it they left out like one of the binding agents that is supposed to help the dip stick to your nail. And so because I didn't have all the proper, I was about to say ingredients, but all the proper what's the word? It's not ingredients because it's not food. I just didn't have all the proper parts. It would go on my nails, and then like I would say 4 days tops later it would fall off. Like I didn't have to soak that, they would literally just fall off because I didn't have that binding agent. And the obvious thing would be like, okay, just send it back to Amazon and get a refund when you found out the first time you're about to do your nails that it didn't have that part in there. I have to sneeze again. But sending things back and getting like refunds and things like that has always intimidated me. It doesn't anymore, but it used to. I don't know why. But it has to be like, I was one of those people that refused to send anything back, like to Amazon, to Target, like wherever I ordered it from online. And even if I went in the store in person and bought it, I wouldn't take it back regardless of if I had the receipt, because it just filled me with so much anxiety, and I still don't understand why. But I got out of that. My grandma, my Nana, I call her Nana in person, but when I'm talking about her, I slip into grandma. But my Nana is the queen of sending things back and returning items and stuff. And one day I told her, like, I can't, like, it just makes me so anxious. And she sat down with me and she like walked me through all the steps, and she's like, I promise it's not that hard, just the next time give it a shot. So anyway, and I did, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So now I'll send it back. But before, in 2020, when I got that kit, I was like, no way in hell am I sending anything back, because it just freaked me out. So I didn't. So I've got a botched dip kit, and even if I would, like, even if I bought a drill and wanted to start doing my own dip again, I would have to buy a different kit, because that one's not gonna work right. I don't want to sit and take the time to do my nails and then 4 days later have it like completely just slide off, because that's what it would do. So, but I brought that up because I was showing you my nails, and I was saying that I've always been someone that loved doing my nails, and I started really liking to do my nails in like middle school. I would say around like 7th grade. Yeah, 7th grade exactly is when I got into my nails. And I used to have this kit. It was nail polish and stuff, but it came with like rhinestones and stuff, and it came with like little brushes of all different sizes so that I could do designs with the nail polish. And I used to experiment, and I was so good. Like, this is awful because I haven't painted my nails in like a year, if not more. Because when I started doing my, anyway, I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole, but I used to like be really good at taking the really skinny brushes and drawing on designs with the polish, and then I would find really pretty places to put rhinestones or things like that on my nails. And I had girls and even adults, like teachers in school, like, oh my god, where'd you get your nails done? I want to go to this shop or this person. And I'm like, I did it. And I even had one of my teachers like, do you like outsource, like, do you do nails, because I'd love for you to do my daughter's nails or whatever for an event she had coming up. And she was like gonna pay me. I didn't do it because I was like, I'm good at doing my own nails. I don't know how it would because of that. And today I was just sitting there knowing that I wanted to film tonight, and I was thinking about putting on my press-ons, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to do that. I've been feeling like I haven't been wanting to put on press-ons the last couple of times that I did, but I did it, you know, just because it's become normal for me to do so when I film. But I was like, no, I'm not doing this today. I'm gonna paint my nails, and I just got so excited saying that, and I was so excited to do it. Like, it was the best. I had the best effing time. I went downstairs, opened some windows. I had my MacBook on, and I was on FaceTime with some people. It was a group FaceTime, and I was doing my nails and cooking lunch. Or dinner, not lunch. I was doing my nails and cooking dinner, and it was just the best experience, and I'm so glad that I did it. So I just wanted to show you, like, I'm really proud, even though it's not like this huge feat, like this huge accomplishment, but going back to my roots, and I'm really happy that I did this. Now, because it's been like over a year since I've actually used nail polish, they were like spilling out of the sides onto like my cuticles and the surrounding area of the finger. But I know that it's gonna get better, because I think I might keep this up for a while instead of acrylics or press-ons. I think I just want to go back to the basics and do nail polish. And it's so, like, doing my nails with the nail polish like the old-fashioned way is so therapeutic. Like, I forgot how therapeutic it is. It is so just like zone out, listen to music, or talk to someone on FaceTime, or watch a TV show, also know